Stop guessing the CELPIP exam. Start understanding it. Hello everybody, welcome to ScoreBridge. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the CELPIP exam 2026. Most of the students prepare for the CELPIP exam by guessing. Guessing answers, guessing strategies and hoping for luck. But let me tell you something very clearly. CELPIP is not a guessing game. It is a structured exam that focuses on patterns, logic, and scoring criteria. And once you understand it properly, you can easily boost your score to level 9, 10, or even 12. So today, I'm going to break down the entire CELPIP exam for you in the simplest and most practical way. So let's go. Let's first understand what the CELPIP exam actually is. CELPIP stands for Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program. It is a computer-based English proficiency test mainly used for Canadian immigration and work purposes. But now it is also acceptable in Australia. It has 4 sections: listening, reading, writing and speaking. And your score ranges from level 1 to level 12. So your goal is simple: understand each section and perform consistently. Now let's see a section number first, that is listening. Now let's talk about the listening section. This section lasts for around 46 to 55 minutes and it contains 38 questions in total. Here, your ability to understand conversations, opinions, and real life situations along with the viewpoints are being checked. This section is divided into 6 parts and each part tests a different skill. The first part is problem solving. In this part, you will listen to a conversation between 2 people. Usually there is a problem and they are trying to solve it. So you have to identify the problem and the solution. The examples could be a lost item, booking issue or any other random problem. Your job is to identify what the problem is and what solution is being discussed. So you have to focus on the main idea and the solution that is given. The second part contains daily life conversations. This part includes informal, everyday conversations that we normally have. Topics can be related to travel, shopping, planning, education, work, and so on. Here, you need to understand the purpose of the conversation and the important details. For example, the dates, time, venue. This is very practical, like real life English. So you can also make some important notes out of it so that you could answer the questions well. In the third section, one person asks questions and another person provides information. So one party is going to ask something, another party is going to explain. For example, it could be some service information, some instructions, some details about a service or anything. You must identify the key facts that are there and the procedures or the steps that are being mentioned. So listen carefully for specific details and again make notes of the things that you feel are important. The fourth part of listening is news items. Here you will be listening to a short news report and you have to focus on the things like what happened, when it happened, the date, the time, and where it happened, the venue. Basically, understand the core information quickly and on the basis of these important facts, try to answer the questions. The fifth part of listening is discussion. It is one of the most difficult parts. There will be 3 speakers that will be discussing about any random topic. This part is tricky because students often confuse who is saying what. So your focus should be on different opinions and identify each speaker carefully. Always track voices. If you are not going to track voices, then you will get confused for sure. So this is a tricky part, but we do have tricks for it, and with the help of the tricks, we can find the answers very clearly. The sixth part is listening for viewpoints. This part is usually a short speech or a presentation. You need to understand the speaker's opinion, their attitude, and their arguments, that what arguments the speaker is presenting in its speech or presentation. So don't just listen to words, try to understand the intent behind them, be it their attitude or their viewpoints. With this, your listening module will get completed. These are the 6 types of questions that you have to practice in order to get good marks in the listening section. Now, the second module is reading. Let's check it. The reading section takes about 43 to 56 minutes, and it also includes 38 questions in total. Here, your comprehension skills are being tested, that how well you understand the written English. If you compare the reading section of CELPIP with PTE or IELTS, it is much easier, easy to interpret and find answers. Let's discuss each and every question of reading in detail now. The first part of reading is reading correspondence. In this part, you will read emails, and your task is to understand the message and purpose of the email. You have to complete a response email. So focus on the purpose, what the sender wants, what is the message that they want to convey to each other. Usually it is easy if you just understand who is the sender, his idea, the details that he or she has presented, and who is the receiver. If you are able to crack the code of this pattern, you can easily score good marks in this section. Part of reading 2 is related to a diagram. This part includes diagrams such as charts, schedules, pie charts, or any random picture. You must analyze the information and answer the questions based on it. So it is all about the understanding and your interpretation of the diagram. So combine your reading and logical thinking in order to get good marks in this section. Third part of reading would be reading for information. This section includes a short informational article. You will answer the comprehension and understand the meaning of the paragraph. In this question, you have to focus on scanning. Just read the main words and try to understand the idea, and focus on the keywords more. Don't read slowly, read smartly. If you just skip and scan the whole paragraph and pick up the main keywords, you can easily solve this paragraph. Next is reading for viewpoints. This part includes opinion-based articles. You must identify the different viewpoints, arguments, tone of the question. So always ask who supports what and why. So you have to focus on who supports what and why, the reasons behind that. If you follow according to this, you can easily crack all the answers. Now let's move to writing section. In the writing section, we have 2 tasks, and this section lasts for 53 minutes. According to me, it is the easiest section out of all 4. Here you can use some templates plus structures that could easily give you a score of 10 or 10 plus. Let's discuss both the tasks in detail. In the task 1 of writing, you have to write an email in response to a situation. In CELPIP, we have 8 types of emails that we will be discussing in details in our upcoming videos. But out of these 8, the most important ones are the emails for complaint, request and invitation. We have to follow a same structure for all the types of emails, starting with greeting, explaining what's the purpose of writing the email, giving some important points, requesting what we need from the receiver, and then a closing statement. This task is very important for scoring, but you will have a decent amount of time to answer. So if you have a good grip on vocabulary, grammar, most importantly template, then you can easily get good marks here. Second question of writing is survey response. In this task, you have to choose between two options. Give your opinion, give the reasons behind your opinion. Reasons must be valid, practical, and then conclude your answer. You have to follow this structure in order to get good marks here. Keep it clear, use simple vocabulary, logical, it should be based on practicality, and conclusion should be readable. It should be well organized. If you have followed these things, your answer is clear with simple vocabulary, it's logical, meaningful, understandable, and the ideas are well organized, then you can score pretty good marks here as well. So these are the only 2 types of questions that are there in writing. Writing is again all about structures and templates. Now let's see our module number 3, that is speaking. The fourth and the last task of the CELPIP exam is the speaking section. The speaking section lasts for about 15 minutes and you will complete 8 tasks. And you will speak into a microphone, so clarity, volume, and confidence are very important. If you are confident enough, you have given the response in a clear voice with high volume, you can easily score good marks here as well. But also there are some templates, there are some methods that have to be followed in order to crack this module. Now let's quickly look at the tasks of the speaking module. The first question would be giving advice. You will be given with a random question that your neighbor is going to plant a garden. What advice you want to give to him or her? So you just have to give your advice that what you think should be there in his or her garden so that things would work out properly. So here your ideas, your creativity, these things will be checked. Again, keep your answer clear, simple, and your pronunciation should be good. If these 3 things are okay, you can get good marks in the first question. In the second question of speaking, you have to give your personal experience about a topic. For example, the question is, talk about a great time that you had in your school. Maybe you can talk about the farewell party, something you did together at school, a time you traveled with your friends, or anything else that you can remember. What happened and why it was memorable. So you just have to give your personal experience about a topic. Again, your creativity, your clarity matters the most. 6 is describing a scene. They are going to give you a random picture. Let us assume there's a girl and there's a boy and they both are playing in sand. And they will ask you to describe that scene, that what you could elaborate or what you could see in the picture. You just have to put in your thoughts into the words and speak it out. The next type of question in speaking would be making predictions. Here too, you will be given with a picture. Let us assume again the picture is of a boy, a girl, and they're playing in sand. You have to predict that what next is going to happen in the picture. Here, your creative mind, your vocabulary, clarity, and structuring of your answer matters. If all these things are okay, you can still easily get good marks. Next is compare and persuade. In this question, you will be given with two pictures. Let us assume this is picture number A and this is picture number 2. This picture number 1 talks about Audi car and picture number 2 talks about BMW. Now you have to compare both the pictures, compare both the cars, and then persuade your parents to buy one of these. So you have to support one type of car, talk in the favor of that, and persuade your parents so that they can go with the options that you have chosen, you have talked about. So this question is about your persuasive skills. The sixth question of speaking is answering and dealing with a difficult situation. They are going to give you a situation. Let us assume the situation is your younger brother is interested in joining guitar classes, but your mother told him to join language classes. Now this is your mother and she told to join him language classes. She feels learning guitar is waste of time. Your brother does not agree and says the guitar is his passion. Now out of these two, you have to choose one. Either talk to your brother and explain why he should join the language class, or talk to your mother, explain why your brother should be allowed to join the guitar classes. So here your creativity is important, that what supporting arguments, ideas, points you are going to give to any of these to support the other person basically. So this is dealing with a difficult situation where you have to choose one alternative and talk about it. The second last topic of speaking task is expressing opinions. Here they are going to give you any random question and they would like you to give your opinion and supporting arguments. For example, the question is, in the age of laptops and iPads, do you think handwriting is still important? So you have to give your opinion whether you want to go with laptops or iPads, or you think yes, handwriting should be improved. And the last part of speaking is describe an unusual situation. In this question, they are going to give you a situation along with a picture and you have to give your response on it. For example, the question is, you saw a strange animal in a city zoo. Tell your brother about the strange animal on the phone. So there would be a picture. They are going to tell you to whom you are going to explain the situation to, and you have to give your response. Here again, your creativity in describing picture would be judged. So vocabulary is, yes, very important in this part. So these are the 8 sections of the speaking task. Speaking is overall about your self-esteem, your confidence. It's about your clarity, your creativity, and yes, your vocabulary. But there are some templates that one can follow in order to get good marks that we will be discussing in the upcoming videos. Now finally, let's understand how you are going to be scored. There are 4 main criterias. First is content and coherence. Are your ideas clear and well organized? These are the 2 things that are the most important in all the sections of speaking and writing. Next is vocabulary. Are you using good and varied words? You don't have to worry about this aspect because in the upcoming videos I'm going to give you list of vocabularies that you could follow, add up in your answers and get pretty good marks. Next is readability and listenability. Is your language easy to understand, or are you able to understand what the different types of speakers are going to say? And last is the task fulfillment. Did you fully answer the question or you just answered it partially without getting the complete understanding? If you focus on these 4 areas, you can easily achieve a high score. So remember, don't just prepare randomly. Understand the structure, practice smartly, and focus on the scoring criteria. That's how you crack the CELPIP exam. Do follow for the upcoming videos so that you could get to know about each and every question in detail. Till next video, take care of yourselves everyone. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good day.